another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation reads like this. It is funny how life plays out. If you had told me a few years ago that I'll be sitting here confessing about Kurumba in Shona. So Kurumba, this is about people who do money-making rituals. I would have laughed if you told me that one day I was going to be a money-making ritualist. Me, a woman who used to believe in doing things the right way, going to church, working hard, praying every night for God's blessings. Yet here I am, looking back at life that is twisted and turned in ways that I never saw coming. The worst part, I don't even feel guilty. Not real. Let's be real for a second. It is easy to blame someone like me for my choices. People will say, oh, she turned to witchcraft. She has lost her way. But you know what? Life happens. Things you push you to a point where you start to think, what's the point of following the rules if nothing good comes out of it? When life slaps you hard enough, you start to question everything, including God. It does not even matter if you are one of those holier than thou Christians. I used to be there. I then started questioning God. I am from Zim, but I've been staying here in South Africa with my boyfriend, Tinashe, not his real name, for a few years now. When we came to South Africa, we really had big dreams of making it in life, hoping to leave behind the struggles of home. We thought that we were going to get some opportunities in this foreign land, but life does not care about your dreams. That's when I saw. We tried. God knows how we tried. The moment that I saw that we had tried and we had failed, and God had failed me and my boyfriend, we used to take some copper wires because our shoes, they were so old, we could not even afford to buy shoes. And that was when I said, this is just too much. We were knocking on each and every door, praying, submitting our CVs. Mind you, I am someone that even went to university, trying to chase each and every opportunity, and still came up short. It felt like we were always just one step away from breaking free, but we could never catch a break. Then I found out that I was pregnant. I remember how that moment felt. For the first time in a while, I felt hope again, because ever since I had started staying with my boyfriend, I had felt to fall pregnant for him. I thought that maybe this was God's way of saying he had not forgotten about us. The pregnancy was like a light in the middle of our struggle, something to look forward to. We were so happy, dreaming about names, imagining what our child would look like. It was everything that we needed, but like everything else, that too was taken away. I still do not understand how it happened. The 1 minute I was pregnant, the next I was not. No explanation, no warning. The pregnancy was just gone. The doctor told me that it happens, that these things are out of our control. But you know what? I did not buy it. I felt robbed. I felt as if God had robbed me to give me hope and then to take that hope away. I felt as if the hope that he had given me was dying, and I did not know what else to do. Each and every time when I would find myself questioning God, my boyfriend was like, you are not supposed to do it. You are not supposed to question God, for God knows everything. And I'll be like, if God truly knows everything, how come he made me to fall pregnant when he knew that the baby that I was going to carry in my womb, the baby was not going to survive to be born? So how can we say that God sees and knows everything? Each and every time when I would talk about it, my boyfriend would get so angry. After the miscarriage, something inside of me broke. I was never the same. My boyfriend tried to comfort me, but he did not understand. How could he? He was not the one who had carried that child. He wasn't the one who felt that life inside of him disappear without a warning. He did not carry the same weight of loss. I started resenting him, feeling like he was a stranger in my pain. I blamed him for everything, the loss of our baby, our financial struggles, even the fact that we were stuck in a foreign country. Every time that I looked at him, I saw a failure of a man. But I didn't stop there. I had bigger targets. I blamed God. I spent my whole life doing what I thought was right, following His word, believing His promises, and for what? For Him to leave me in that kind of a mess, for Him to watch me struggle and to keep quiet, lose my child and do nothing. I started thinking, what was the point of believing in a God who does not show up when you need Him? That was when my boyfriend came up with the idea of us doing this thing of Kurumba rituals. These were some of the things that he told me were being done in the village from where he comes from. He was just not sure if the traditional healer whom he knew and who he said that was the one who could perform these rituals for us, if he was not a scammer. He told me about some other guy from his village who had been living like in a shack, and he was owning a very big property in Borodale Brook. And that guy, he said, never returned back to the village, and people started whispering about how he had made his money. So he had made these ritual sacrifices. At first I said, I don't believe in that, but we kept on talking about it. He kept on saying, what if we could finally get out of this land, this foreign land in which we were, and then we can return back home and enjoy life. He then found the phone numbers of that traditional healer. We raised enough money, 20,000 rands, and we went to see him. I told myself I was just going for him, that I was not really going to do it. But when we got there, when the traditional healer started talking about how we could have everything that we ever wanted, I felt something shift inside of me. He said that we had to make a sacrifice, but I did not even care anymore. I had already lost everything that mattered. What was one more thing? I did not care. So the rituals began. We were then given a glass bottle. So inside this glass bottle, there is a worm that we returned back with from Zim. So that worm, it feeds on my womb. I was told by that healer that the moment that the worm is going to finish up eating my womb, then I am going to die. And the wealth that me and my boyfriend have, it is all going to disappear. He even gave us an example, and he said, have you ever heard of trucks or buses that just start burning for no reason at all? He said it is because the owner, maybe the owner would have died, and those Tokoloshes, they will start to come, and they will be collecting all that they would have given to the bus owner when he was still alive. So they will be destroying the wealth that they would have given to the family. So this is what is going to happen to us. We were told that as for our houses that we have here, we have 2 properties in South Africa and 3 properties that we have in our country. We were told that these properties, the moment that we are going to die, no one will be able to live in those properties, because those Tokoloshes will be saying that these properties, they belong to us. We have such a huge mansion here in South Africa. The reason as to why we have such a mansion It is because we need space for our Tokoloshes to play, to stay, for they are just like little kids. But as for that worm, it stays all the times hidden in our bedroom. It feeds on my womb. I feel no pain. I feel nothing. But I know that slowly but surely it is eating up at my womb. But we are just enjoying life. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.